a broader perspective.
The agenda.
Giving the masses a grasp of informative, educative, and entertaining updates on current issues while guiding them to follow the latest development in the society.
Hello, you're welcome to the agenda on Beam Television, a political and current affairs program that discusses issues of the day, giving you a platform where you can bear your mind, you can contribute, you can share ideas and learn on the national issues and the issues surrounding you. And on this edition, we have something very crucial we want to talk about. I want to analyze the state of the nation. The big question is, how is Nigeria faring? Before we attempt that question, we'll go on a short break where we'll bring to you reports on people's opinion about how they feel about Nigeria, the current situation of Nigeria from Nigerians themselves. So when we are back, we are going to attempt the question, how is Nigeria faring? So once again, you're welcome to the agenda on Beam Television. And my name is Blessing Ambrose.
We need more young people as MDs, as CEOs, as DGs.
With what we are experiencing now, that we have a better education.
If only guarantees political stability, then we have the best governance environment in Nigeria.
If you have a solution, you will be engaging with people who are major decision makers.
But I believe when you coexist, your own is my own and my own is your own. The office of the president should not be kept alone with those political parties.
In politics is constant struggle for power. The end justify the means. Develop attitude of integrity.
At what age is a youth emotionally, intellectually fit to vie for a political post in Nigeria?
You are only young once. And if you work it right, once is enough.
If you are in that office, be able to deliver on the expectations of the office.
You cannot be effective as a leader without leadership.
The agenda.
Giving the masses a grasp of informative, educative, and entertaining updates on current issues while guiding them to follow the latest development in the society. Beam TV, a broader perspective.
It's just very obvious that we are nosediving, all right? It's very obvious. I mean, you can have 100,000 naira right now and then do anything meaningful with it. It's very obvious that things are not yet right. You know, economically, things are not yet right in Nigeria. Which sector do you talk about? Is it education? Okay, look at what happened in Lagos State a few days ago. There was an accident at Third Mainland Bridge, and people were wounded, rushed to hospital. The hospital could not even give them first aid because I mean money. So in Nigeria we have valued money, you know, more than life itself.
What Nigeria is facing currently is, we call it Zaga Ziggy Zaga. That is the botanical name I'm giving to Nigeria, as the Zaga Ziggy Zaga, because in the sense that the Nigeria economic now is totally down. Like, if I'll put it this way, I don't see anything good coming out, because if come to think of it, look at the price of fuel now.
Presently, we know that all of us are going through hardship.
That is normal.
Okay.
Poverty has increased. Maybe as a result of floating of the currency, whatever, or corruption, whatever it is. It is no more like yesterday.
Business is not equally going the way it is. So when you look at some business premises, you look at that, you'll find out that the places are empty. There is no business that is going on.
Nigeria of today is not smiling at all. Both the education sector, everything is just, I don't know. So we just pray God that God will just help us.
Beam TV, a broader perspective.
You're welcome back. This is still the agenda on Beam Television, and thank you so much for staying with us up till this moment. And in case you're joining us, this is the agenda on Beam Television, a political and current affairs program where we bring you issues of the day regarding politics and current issues happening around us. And today we want to analyze, we want to look at the state of the nation, and the big question is, how is Nigeria faring? You heard people's opinion about what is biting them, because when you are assessing the state of the nation, there are people that will jump into it and say, oh, we have the best governance, we have the best government so far. And there are people that will, no matter what you do, they will still be complaining, they will still find fault in whatsoever is going on. And there are other people that will be objective and they will tell you the areas that is doing well and the areas that are not doing well. So we merge all of them together and find a solution for those issues. So today we have us on set today Honorable Abdulhamid Dankiaku. He is a former Northeast Coordinator, FSC, and former State House member, Gombe State, and currently is EDC member. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Next to him is Idongaset Etum Esquire, and he is a national convener as Siwaju Youth Ambassador. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Also, Lawrence Ayo, the national leader, Tinubu FCT Youth Foundation. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Unfortunately, you know, we are gender friendly. We don't have any woman in the studio. Before we continue this conversation, I want you to know that the opinion of our guest does not represent the stand of Beam Television, neither the opinion of Global Television. So whatever you hear here is strictly their own opinion and has nothing to do with the two stations. I want, in one sentence, your opinion. How is Nigeria faring?
I think we're not happy. Nigerians are not happy. Nigerians are in situation. People are hungry. You know, hungers are all over the country. Insecurity, you know, if you go to the markets, everything is already high. And I said that there is no Nigeria, it's more Nigeria than any Nigerians. Nigerians are suffering, the masses are suffering, people are crying, people can't afford to go to hospitals, people can't afford to pay their medical bills, school fees to their children, and a lot of things. The problem is that I thought that Tinubu's administration would have done very well, because I was a former APC member, and I thought that I followed him 21 states in order to campaign for him. We campaigned for him. As a former member of APC, we won the election. Tinubu lost it in Lagos. He lost it in some of the states, but we thought that we all have to coalesce ourselves and, you know, work for him in order to salvage, to remove Nigeria from the previous administration, because he was part of the administration. If Buhari's administration has failed, why can't Tinubu advise them? Because he was part of the journey.
The state of the nation with regards to Nigeria as an entity, Nigeria as an entity is not doing badly. Maybe Nigerians in that entity are trying to find their feet because of policies or going, but as an entity in Nigeria, this is the best time we're getting it, because we're taking structural reforms that will empower the life of the ordinary Nigerian. Okay. Of course, Nigerians are the ones that are in this entity called Nigeria, and these reforms are affecting Nigerians. Of course, Mr. President has said it, that he knows that the pain is down. But of course, with a couple of weeks and a couple of months, everything will be all right. We're in the right track.
We are not where we ought to have been, but certainly we are not where we used to be. So we are heading to the right direction.
Some persons made fun of the statement. They say it's like 2026 is not going to be in existence, because the way people are hyping 2027 is that like we are going to skip 2026. Can we separate politics from governance? I will start with you, because you've been in the front line, you've been a National Assembly, House of Assembly member.
They work hand in hand because you can't walk, you can't rule yourself. You have to work under leadership. Even in the family, you have leadership. But the problem is that when you have leaders that refuses to understand your pains, if you have leaders that you voted for in assumption or in thoughts of that things will get better, and unfortunately they only care about themselves.
Okay.
The leaders that refuses to fix roads, the leaders that refuses to fix insecurity, the leaders that refuses to build schools and hospitals. And what do you think of the masses? The masses are in pain. As he earlier said, that they promise that they were going to do, things will get better. They removed subsidy. The fuel subsidy was removed the day he assumed office. The day he assumed office, he removed the subsidy. But where is the subsidy money going? Today, who is fooling who? If you go to the hospitals, there is no medical facilities in the hospitals. There is no medicals in the hospitals. The masses can't afford to pay their children's school fees. The masses cannot afford to protect themselves. Now, masses are protecting themselves because there is no security. There is insecurity from where I come from.
So
where I'm coming from, there is no security. And they said, as he earlier said, that Nigeria. In Nigeria, I'm living in Nigeria, but I have to pay for my own security before I go to my state.
Right. So at what point should we talk about governance and leave politics?
Yes.
The campaign period, whenever you elect a leader, after settling in the office, the next move is planning for the second term. The essence of governance. Why were you elected there? Everything now, every activity, every program is tailored to 2027. So at what point should governance begin?
Yeah, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has demystified leadership in Nigeria. This is the first president that on May 29th in Eagle Square decided to take government to action immediately. No point sugarcoating or making everybody feel like everybody agreed, including all the presidential candidates, they were going to remove subsidy. He on the spot removed subsidy. That's showing leadership. And removing subsidy, he created the presidential CNG initiative, which was an initiative that nobody has talked about before, to open up our natural gas potentials, we want to fund Nigeria towards another form movement. We're talking about separating leadership and politics. It is the opposition, like my brother in the ADC, that were heating up the politics. Because a couple of persons were not given appointment or certain things, they became angry and ran away from the APs. And they've been heating up the politics everywhere, saying Mr. President is not doing well, Mr. President has not done it. But we can reel out projects and plans that Mr. President has done across the economy. When Mr. President removed subsidy, it means Nigeria has more money. Those monies that government were paying to those set of people who are diverting fuel to Chad, to Niger, to go and sell. Government has now removed that burden. That corruption has totally been removed. The president has unified our foreign exchange. For the first time, everybody has to buy dollar at the same amount of money. Nobody goes to CBN and then I buy it outside at different rates. For the first time, if you want to go abroad, you buy dollar, everybody buys at the same rate. 2 years, for the first time in 2 years. For the first time in 2 years, we're able to unify our exchange. Now, if you look at the reforms that Mr. President has brought, these are policies intended for the long run. You have somebody here, he said, what has government done with this revenue? Today, the salaries of judicial officers have been increased by 300%. That is an arm of government that is supposed to be independent. But because of the way we have been able to empower them to do better than they used to do 2 years ago. These are facts, these are figures that have been done in the last 2 years. The federal program in Nigeria is entitled of 36 states and 774 local government. And revenue is shared from the federal to the state to the local government. When the federal government has more revenue, you share downwards. And that has been the system from day one. Mr. President, having more revenue has empowered the state governors with more revenue. And if a state government is irresponsible, or if a state government is not working, you not blame the federal government on the failure of the state government. That's one. Number two, Mr. President has been able to get financial autonomy for local government areas. That's a miracle that nobody had think will ever happen. Local government chairmen before now were appointees of the government, of the governors. They could not be anybody running around, they just give you ticket. And they give you several amounts of money to sign at the end of the money. Meanwhile, the real money that comes to local governments don't go there. We are complaining of poverty, food insecurity, but how many lands does the federal government own? All land belongs to the government, belongs to state governments. And those lands are in the place of local government areas. So if we want agriculture to work, it's in the local government areas. So these things will not just work for magic. These are reforms that the government has taken. That's why we say in 2 years, these reforms will begin to work. President Bola Tinubu's achievement in the last 2 years, there are so much with regards to policy, with regards to reforms, with regards to projects. But of course, we don't expect these things to work like magic.
Yes, fuel subsidies should go, but was it the proper way to do it?
I'm talking about the economy. I would agree with you that maybe 5 years ago someone could go to the market, or 3 years ago go to the market with a certain amount of money and buy some things that they cannot buy now because of policies of government. And this is not just peculiar to Nigeria alone. All over the world we have a global crisis. But our own is faster because we took 2 major decisions that have changed the fact that where we're going now. You cannot keep paying subsidy as a country because it's unsustainable. These fuels don't even come in. If you are paying subsidy, what's the essence of diversifying the economy by signing the PIA to allow private investments to come in? The idea of allowing Aliko Dangote and the others to go into these investments because we believe that when they begin production, they will crash the price to come down. Why do we have this price hike? It's because everything is moved from the north to the south by road, and it's moved by fuel, PMS. But of course, the person has created another angle. Try to see how we can use CNG to move things here and there. Of course, these things will take a while before they will affect the real prices of goods in the market. That's why subnationals have been empowered to do more for the people at the subnational level.
So if it should take a while before people start getting it, yes, why don't it take a while before you stabilize and then say, okay, this is what we want?
You know, in Christianity we say you don't continue in sin for grace to abound.
Good.
It doesn't mean that because this thing is bad, you continue to just to ameliorate. That's a Nigerian problem. Fix it from the root, we will survive it. There's no Nigerian, whether you're in APC, ADC, PDP, they're not feeling the heat. Everybody is feeling the heat. Even those in government, everybody is feeling the heat. But we have to go through this temporary measure so that we can come out of it better than we are. If His Excellency Goodluck Jonathan took these decisions 10 years ago, would have crossed this phase we are now. Okay. But of course, Mr. President has been commended around the world for being a very courageous leader. It takes somebody that has the guts to remove those 2 policies, knowing that you have an election in 2 years. In 4 years, actually. And he took it from day one, knowing that this thing is taking is not about the next cycle of elections, it's about the average Nigerian. And these reforms that he's bringing, they are multi-sectoral. We have more money now. Students now have student loan funds. When was the last time you heard that ASU went to strike? These monies are channels to different areas of government. But these things are not, maybe the information angle of government is not even doing enough to enlighten Nigerians about the things that they are doing. And the trickle-down effect will begin to come down as soon as possible.
If he knows the dollar rate of today, I don't know of between them. Last week is different from today.
Yes.
Last week, 3 weeks is different from yesterday. And he said that we have a stabilized dollar rate. I don't know
the market.
I don't know.
There's no black, there's no white, there's no red market.
There are, look, go to Zonfo. Is it not black market?
It's the same amount you get from
No, it's not true. It's not true. Why can't I go to the bank if I'm buying from Zonfo? Those men are the one getting the money. Bigger men are the one funding Zonfo people. It's because, sincerely, I'm just, you now talk about the local government autonomy. The local government chairmen, are they getting the money direct from the cover of the nation? No, it's not true. The governors are the one controlling the money. The governors are the one allocating money to the local government chairman. Please, let us be honest with ourselves. Are Nigerians happy? No. Are our hospitals fixed? No. Are our roads fixed? No. Do we have security? No. And you are talking about that Nigerians are happy. Nigeria, how much? You and I know. We are suffering from all these things. But we are protecting these people, painting them, perfuming them, that as if we are not happy, as if we are happy. You and I know that we are not happy. Their policies are bad. I'm not against Asiwaju. I supported him, but the problem is that, okay, fine, the allocations of money going to a particular, he has been collecting loan from loan. How much trillions? Let me give you an instance, because I have it on record. The reason why I got this is because the coastal, the estimated coastal road of Lagos Calabar is 15,600 billion. Today is he commissioned 30 kilometers, and the 30 kilometers has been cracked. Everybody is seeing it on the social media. Nigerians are suffering from the south, southwest, northeast, northwest. People are suffering. It's not a northern something. And he now talked about the what do you call, if a particular energy or power it's belongs to the south or east or west, that's the northern people. Nigeria is not a company. It's not turn by turn Nigeria Limited. We have constitution that is binded by the law.
It's been an engaging discussion here, attempting to answer the question is, how is Nigeria faring And at this point, we'll go on a short break. When we return, the conversation continues. And I know that you want to be part of this program. If you want to join us, please do well to grab your phone, send your message, send your question, your contribution to the number you'll see on your screen. Or you want to join us on our social media platforms, all the social media platforms, Beam TV Nigeria, so that you'll be carried along. And in case you want to be part of this conversation, do well to also send a message to us through the number on your screen, and we'll get across to you to be part of this discussion. Let's go on a short break. When we return, the discussion continues.
Oga?
The agenda.
Giving the masses a grasp of informative, educative, and entertaining updates on current issues while guiding them to follow the latest development in the society. Beam TV, a broader perspective.
You're welcome back. This is still the agenda on Beam Television, and the focus this week is on state of the nation. And the big question analyzing the state of the nation is, how is Nigeria faring? You supported Tinubu,
yes,
from your words,
yes,
and there's something that made you to follow to support him.
Yes,
because if you didn't see something, you
yes,
wouldn't have supported him.
Yes.
So what would you say?
Thank you.
Is that thing that he's doing that you think he should?
Thank you very much.
You should promote that.
Thank you.
Administration that is extremely bad.
Thank you very much. The reason why I supported Asiwaju Bola Tinubu is because he was instrumental to the amalgamation of APC, CPC, ADC, CPC, ACN, and NNPP to ADC, to NNP, to APC. You understand? They collated themselves with some of the G7 governors of PDP because they wanted to salvage Nigeria. Then we now said Boko Haram, Akilim, you know, they went to church and put bombs, they went to mosques, and that was the reason why we are having sectarian crisis between the northern Muslim and the northern Christians. We now have a diverse, different problem situation in the north. The northerners having problems. You see bomb in the church, you see bomb in the mosque, you can't go to the market. So we now said Jonathan administration is bad. We are looking for somebody, and they now collated themselves and came out with a platform of APC. So I supported Tinubu because I've seen the handwork in Lagos he has done when he was a governor. I've seen his reform in Lagos. I've seen where he is building a country in a country. Lagos is another country on its own because of how he now, outlined and restructured Lagos. So my thought was that Tinubu will going to be the master and Emileko of Nigeria, not Emileko of the southwestern Nigeria. I am a northerner, but a proudly Nigerian that is proud of Nigerians. When I travel, I met with some other people wherever one comes from, we embrace ourselves out of the country. But in Nigeria, we are not together. I don't know why, because an Igbo man will now think this is Ndachinama. If you go to Lagos, some of the Yorubas will call you Aboki or Malam. I thought Malam is a teacher, Aboki is a friend, and but they don't understand the word. And you people that are living with us here in Abuja understand the difference. But the problem is that I supported Tinubu because I thought that he's going to be the leader of all competent terms, a leader of Nigeria. I told, during my interview, when I was campaigning for him, I said his heart is huge, his heart is exposed, his heart is vulnerable to erratic union, that I know that he is this man that will stand his feet and make things better. Today,
so you're not seeing all those things.
The problem is that I cannot travel because Buhari failed in protecting the citizens. This is my thoughts.
Which area do you think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration should pay attention to keenly?
Well, if I want to say about few, I would look at the area of agriculture. There should be a benchmark where every state has to come up with something. If you are coming up with granite, the president should say, okay, this is the amount of the sizable of land you are to give, and this is the amount, the tons you have to come up with.
What to achieve in this current administration? Everybody's attention, because President, let's get these facts right. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu cannot stand alone and run this country. No. That's why he has people. He has ministers, he has appointees, he has MDAs to achieve his goal. But people like you now, you are his supporter, right? you are going around preaching the gospel of this administration to people. Now let's look at those areas I have mentioned, the economic area, the security, all the areas that we know that it really is still posing serious challenges. What do you suggest should be done so that we can have minimal of these issues in the country?
The truth is, Nigeria is a beautiful country with complexities. And it takes a strong leader, not a man that is liked, to be the president of Nigeria. You need to be bold. You need to take decisions that matter for the generality of Nigeria. We need to really have true federalism. That's the major problem we have. These are constitutional issues. My little brother will understand. Issues of security is mostly a constitutional problem. Because if we want to be sincere with ourselves, we need to begin to look at the issue of state policy. That's what will solve our actual policing problem. I cannot come from Akwa Ibom and make me commissioner of police Gombe. I don't know the terrain. I cannot function very well. But if I'm from Gombe, make me commissioner of police Gombe, it means I've grown through the ranks, I've worked in every division in Gombe, I'll be able to know crime.
You are not supporting the present administration because of your personal interests. Maybe there's something that you expected and it's not coming forward, which is very fine. You have the liberty to choose whosoever you support and wherever you go to. So what would you suggest to the coalition parties, the present administration, that should do to make sure that Nigeria has a new face or is better than 2 years ago?
Okay, thank you very much. Mine is not personal interest, it's Nigerian interest. I'm talking about Nigerian interest. It's not about me because I'm not looking for an appointment first. And second is that if you're asking me of what the president should do, is that for him to be the leader, the president of Nigeria. So he should be the president of Nigeria, not a regional president. And second is that he's talking about the loan given to. There is no country that will give you loan. They should subsidize things for people to get it more easier. They should make it. President and the federal government cannot give you work because we are so many people. We have people that are intelligent, that have capacity to create an avenue to it. But the problem is that there is no avenue because you can't go to your farmland, as the earlier said, because of insecurity. There is the cost of living. You can't even do, if you're a carpenter, you can't buy your tools to do things. Let them give us a good economy that will going to help us do some things.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Abdulhamid Dankerko.
Yes.
For making out time to be with us today. Thank you so much, Lawrence Ayo, the national leader, Tinubu FCT Youth Foundation, and also Idongazeretam Esquire, national convener, Asiwaju Youth Ambassador, for making out time to be with us today and for your valuable contributions to this topic. How is Nigeria faring? And in case you want to also air your view about how Nigeria is faring, please do well to reach out to us because we are going to have the second edition of this program and we are going to capture your opinion. We were talking about analyzing state of the nation, and the big question was, how is Nigeria faring? And this is coming to you on The Agenda, our program that deals on politics and current affairs. So do well to be part of this program, the same time, same station, same day. And we'll always bring you fresh updates on what is going on around the country and even beyond. My name is still Blessing Ambrose, and it was nice to be your host today. Let's meet again some other time.
Beam TV, a broader perspective.